Hello, it's day 34, and I want to talk about the ugly duckling. Oh, let me tell you what, Diet Buddy, I am tired today. It's Friday, I have the day off, and I spent about 3 or 4 hours in the garden today. I planted 32 tomatoes and 64 peppers. Is that overkill? At what point does it stop being a garden and start being a farm? I also forgot to track my calories today. But it's interesting because even though it's Friday and I spent so much time working, doing really hard outdoors work, I'm not all that hungry right now. So while I did overeat a little, I can't be sure because I didn't track my calories. I think I'll be okay. I'm not feeling a binge coming on today, interestingly enough. So yeah, I want to talk about the Ugly Duckling. This is a story I was told when I was a child. It's a fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen, I think. It got made into books, it got made into cartoons. I was exposed to it pretty regularly as a kid. I saw it a lot. Maybe not a lot, but I saw it referenced quite a bit. The Ugly Duckling actually doesn't get told to children very much these days, which is interesting to me, but I can kind of see why. If you're not familiar with it, which I'm sure you are, but just for a quick summary for my friends who might be living under a rock, in The Ugly Duckling, there is a swan cygnet that gets mistakenly hatched by a duck mother, and the duck mother is like, wow, this is one ugly duckling. Everybody makes fun of the ugly duckling because he's, weird looking, but eventually he grows up and he becomes a beautiful swan, and everybody loves and respects him. I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this today. I got told the Ugly Duckling story, and being a very good, diligent little schoolgirl, I thought to myself, okay, it's a fairy tale, there's a moral to the story, I learned that moral, so this must be the way the world works. I spent a lot of time as a child waiting for my, inevitable glow up. I even had friends in grade school who would tell me, oh, don't you worry, there's somebody out there for you. Someday you're going to lose all that baby fat, and, you're going to look great, I'm sure. Ugly duckling. They meant it in the nicest way, of course, but when you're that age, you do believe that you're just going to undergo a transformation someday. I will say that when I was a child, I did believe that becoming an adult meant that more things were going to shift around than actually did. I remember thinking that my face would change a lot once I was an adult, but, my face has been my face. I remember thinking that my general shape would just change. And I also wonder, at what point does baby fat just become fat? I actually think I have an answer for that. I think the point where baby fat becomes fat is college, entering college. And I do remember college being a lot more lonely for me than high school was. Because I think in high school, there was still this vague hope from me and all of my friends that, maybe I just hadn't rounded the corner yet. Maybe I was on my way to hotness. Your inevitable hotness that you're gonna ugly duckling into someday. But by the time you get to college, it's pretty settled what you're gonna look like. You've grown as much as you're going to, you don't get any taller, and for me, I got very fat very quickly. So it was interesting to see my friend group just kind of peel away like layers of a rotting onion until I was left with no one. Now, of course, that's not solely because I was fat. I was also going through a lot of issues at the time, and I'm still going through a lot of issues. But I do have to wonder, if I become this fitness goddess that I'm hoping to become, if I do become, Wonder Woman yoked Amazon, do you think I'm going to attract a new friend group? I was actually considering this while I was out in the garden today. I could hear my neighbors way off in the distance, and I've never been the kind of person who can just approach somebody just like cold approach them, just like, hello neighbor, how are you? I've never been that person. It did occur to me though, like now that I own this property, now that I own this piece of land, I should probably start engaging a little bit with the people around me. I've been locked inside of myself for so long. Like, these videos are probably the most I talk during a day. I talk to my students, obviously, but that's just regurgitating information. I'm talking about, like, actually speaking, like, actually, like, connecting to someone through speech. I'm a very quiet person. So I guess my question is, what do I do if I do actually ugly duckling into a beautiful swan? What if I do, like, become a more, like, conventionally attractive person? What do I do when, like, people approach me and I can't talk to them because I don't have much practice doing it? I don't have any big insight for you today. I just kind of wanted to throw it out there. Because I think when people do get fit and when they do lose weight, they do kind of expect that their social life is going to get better. They expect it to just kind of happen because, that's what happens when you become hot, right? But it can't be that easy, can it? I don't know. I really don't have a frame of reference for any of this. But I'm a little bit worried because I think I've been alone for so long at this point that I think it's made me strange. I don't think I'm ever going to really recover from the isolation that I've been through. That's another reason I'm really enjoying these videos. Like, I kind of like doing these videos even on the bad days. Like, I like talking to my theoretical diet buddy. I like talking to you. I like talking at you. But yeah, I do wish that there were more people in my life. But who knows? Who knows what the future holds? I guess we just gotta keep going.